What is the teaching here? How can you stand firm in what you don't believe? You see, you plus Christ is victory. But you plus Christ is what? Is victory. But what does that mean? It means that though you are still going to the war with the devil, you are still going to fight, amen? But you must believe that already, before I enter into the war, the victory is guaranteed. So that shows you must internalize the fact that you are raised with Christ and you are seated with Christ above, not below, and all those that are struggling with you, they are under your footstool. That is only when you can come out victoriously. You see the thing?
Let it germinate and bring forth good fruit to the testimony of your glory and to the blessing of brethren and to the shame of devil. We don't want to gather here to deceive ourselves. In Jesus' mighty name, we have made this confession. Let's be seated comfortably. Amen.
People of God, I welcome you into the presence of God. For those that are worshiping with us for the first time, this is our second service. We finished the first service by 10:30, Sunday school, 10:30 to 11:30. And now we are going to the teaching for the second service. When we are here, we are in school. Tell somebody I'm in school. We are in school of Christ. Where we learn the way of Christ so that we can become Christ. You go to school to learn what you want to become. You have it? If you are studying to be a nurse, to be a nurse, you graduate as a what? As a nurse. As long as you finish all your requirements, amen. By the time you graduate as what? As nurse. Law, graduate as lawyer, amen. Doctor, graduate as doctor, amen. That's the way it works now. So by the time you finish in the school of Christ, you become Christ. Amen. Let's give Jesus a praise. And that's the goal of everything. And that's why I say, let this might be in you that is already in Christ Jesus. Amen. I started this series 3 weeks ago. I teach in series here. I won't be able to go back too much, but you can join me on the YouTube and you will see it there. And I encourage you all to subscribe so that we can be doing live podcasts that are giving us a target of follower so that we can be doing live broadcasting. So you can encourage your friends to do the same. Talking about the reality of our new creation. The reality of our new creation. And I started by telling you who you are. And I said who you are determines what you do. And I went to the next topic by saying the requirement for our new creation. If you say you are a new creation, amen? Amen. Then there are some requirements. And I said our new creation reality requires a new birth. I told you our whole self is not regenerated. Our whole self is not renewed. Our whole self is crucified. And I said you plus Christ cannot be you Christ. And you plus Christ cannot be you. It is you plus Christ is equal Christ. And I said now that new birth requires new identity. And I remember where I stopped last week, that we are in a uniform culture environment. Now oftentimes we identify people by their culture. Okay. Dickness Fakilene, stand up, man. Which tribe of Nigeria is man? What? Amen. It's as simple, see that man. It's as simple as A, B, C. Okay, let me say something now. I'm good, so thank God for this inspiration. Mama, stand up. Which type of Nigeria is Mama? You can say Yoruba because of her dress, right? Because she put on Ankara. I'm just saying. But the truth, though she's rooted from Nigeria or Africa, but by son she's an American, right? Yeah. Okay, this even helped me for my teaching to the Mama now. You will see what I'm saying. So give me those pictures. Give me those pictures. Let me quickly go because I don't want people to get lost. Go. Check it. Who are these people? They are medical practitioners. By the way they
dress.
Okay? Let's go. By the way they dress. Let's go quickly. Thank God. By the way they dress. By the word they put on, right? Yeah. Okay, go away again. By what they put on. Now, people of God, I'm going somewhere now. So I told you that our new birth requires a new identity. And I told you that people address us the way we dress. So we need to put on a uniform that is related to our new identity. So, and I told you that dressing is not a physical dressing. That dressing is a dressing of our attitude, by our emotion, our feelings, our everything, our character. Amen? Amen. And I still want to tell you today, that is the way it is. And one thing about our design of dressing is God himself designed it. But our own is to put it on. That's why I said put on the old one, then you put on the what? The new one. So, people of God, that new identity requires new birth. Then it requires new dressing. And God has dressed us. And he positioned us in a place where he has dressed us for. Amen. And that is now taking me to the third teaching. The third teaching means that it requires a good perception of yourself. Your new creation reality requires that you must see yourself the way God sees you. Tell somebody, you must see yourself the way God sees you. You must dress yourself the way God dresses you. You must position yourself where God positions you. Now, in the uniform I showed you, if those that put on the medical professional uniform now put on the prisoner uniform, and you put the other uniform on the other person, I will show it out. My prosing, based on what we see, right? We will say this is this and this is this. In Nigeria now, based on what is going on, we see so many thieves and robbers. They will put on military and police uniform, and they will stay at the main checking point. And automatically, whenever any car is coming, it will stop. They will check, and from there they raid them. But the truth of the matter is, let's say I put on a police uniform, and you have never met me before, and I put on my siren right there. Automatically, you will do what? But if I now see, amen, a police that I know is genuine, what will I do? Why? Because I'm only impersonating. Okay, good. Good, we are going somewhere. So therefore, people of God, I want to teach you. Let's say I put on my siren. I didn't have any uniform. I just find out that something is not going right there, and I just step out. And I don't have any uniform. But I'm an officer. Amen? Authorized officer. And if I see another officer coming, what do you think I will do? So why do you think I will stand?
Confident.
Okay, now, therefore, dressing on the outside as a police officer doesn't make me one. Right? But the fact that I'm authorized and I internalize my authority within me, inside me, even without the outside uniform, make me what? Okay, now, If you have been thinking that you are a special person since I started this series, you are not making any mistake. Because you plus Christ cannot be ordinary. You plus Christ must make you special. And I come to tell you today, not that you feel or think special, you are special. Many people now, this praise Sunday, what can I praise God for? The same old story, whatever. But the truth of the matter is that your God, Heavenly Father, is not a common father. He's a special father. And a special father cannot give birth to a common, ordinary children. So where Brother Akin read, he said, what a love that Christ has bestowed unto us, that we are called sons of God. He said, now that is who you are not less than who God says you are. Tell somebody, I am not less than who God says I am. So start believing it. Whatever that is true of Jesus Christ is true of you. His crucifixion is true of you. His ascension and resurrection is true about you. His birth is true about you. Amen? Amen? Everything that is true of Christ is true of you. You are not just an ordinary person. And therefore, my equation today is you, let's go now, plus Christ is what? What does that mean? It means that when you plus Christ and you have your perception to be right, that is, when you have a right perception, when you combine with Christ and you have a right perception, then your being special will be struggle free. That's what he's trying to type in. You plus Christ, you are special. You don't struggle to act special like a special person. That's when you have a right what? Perception. So if you plus Christ and you have wrong or false perception of it, you begin to be struggling to be a special person. Are you here with me? Yeah. Now, if you want to put on a police uniform and you are not a police, though you are still putting it on, but something will be telling you, what if a real police should come? Amen? You'll be thinking of, where can I go out with this uniform? Amen? Is somebody here with me? Yes. So therefore, you plus Christ, plus you special and this struggle food is not devil. It is based on your perception. Stop giving credit to devil. If you have wrong perception of who you are, you'll be struggling with you being special. But if you have the right perception of who you are, based on who God says you are, amen, your being special will be struggle free. So you don't give credit to witches and wizards about any struggle you are going through. When it comes to you not being an ordinary person, it is based on how you see yourself. Let's go to the next one. Therefore, you plus Christ with right perception is a good Christian lifestyle. What am I saying here? Until you begin to believe who God says you are, you cannot behave it. Amen? Amen. If you believe that, okay, you are a sinner, you cannot act like a saint. But if you believe that God said, okay, I am a saint, and sin has no power and dominion over me, you begin to live a sin-free what? Life. So people of God, you plus Christ is not that you will be children of God tomorrow. That is who you are now. Amen? Amen. So you plus Christ is not a future child of God. It is a present child of what? Of God. So therefore, if you believe in the hope of all what God has promised you, you begin to live a new life of what? Of purification. And when you begin to live a new life of purification, then you begin to exercise a new lifestyle of God, which is the glory of God in your present day. Amen? Amen. People of God, I want you to believe who God says you are. God says you are the salt, not the sand. Believe it internally that you are the salt. And that is where you begin to act as what? As the salt. You are the light. And once you believe that you are the light, you believe that even when somebody is doing wrong thing, which represents darkness, your own light is to do what? To shine the light there. Until you begin to believe who God says you are, to behave it will be full of struggle. And that is the problem we have in Christendom these days. People don't internalize who they are, they want to act it out. Let's go to the next teaching because of time. We don't really have much time. So, people of God, you plus Christian life is not how we behave. That's not the first thing. We are in a band-aid approach, which is not of God. I want to get married quickly. I want to start business quickly. I want to start ministry quickly. You that want to get married, do you know what will save your marriage? You need to spend time with somebody that has what? Been married. Successful one. Godly marriage, so that she can show you what it is after what you do. You that you want to keep husband and you don't even know how to cook. What will be the best thing for you? To spend time to learn more about cooking than to be in a hurry to keep him up. A girl was sitting in front of me, my wife was there, and they were fighting with the husband, everything was done. I said, Ma, the decision you made was like you are a girl, and it takes a woman to keep a man. Girl don't keep man. Amen. I said, and this decision you made it as if you are on your own. You are not on your own. There is a man with you. So what am I saying here? Is you plus your Christian life is not how we behave first. You plus your Christian life must first of all be what you believe. Because until you believe, you cannot behave. What am I saying? Let's go. If you look at Paul teaching, every teaching of Brother Paul is divided into two parts. You will have the doctrinal aspect of Paul teaching, and you have the practical aspect of Paul teaching. Bring this thing lower a little bit. Practical aspect of his teaching and doctrinal aspect of it. But oftentimes, we want to focus more on the practical aspect of his teaching, negating the doctrinal aspect. And that's why some people call him antinomianist, a lawless preacher. Not that he's a lawless preacher, but he was teaching us that we must first of all believe who we are based on who God says we are. So to behave it now becomes very what? Easy. Look at it this way. Go to Ephesians 6:11. Ephesians 6:11, it says, stand firm. It said, put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand. That is, stand firm against the deception of devil. Now, what is the teaching here? How can you stand firm in what you don't believe? You see, you plus Christ is victory. But you plus Christ is what? Is victory. But what does that mean? It means that though you are still going to the war with the devil, you are still going to fight. Amen? But you must believe that already, before I enter into the war, the victory is guaranteed. So that shows you must internalize the fact that you are raised with Christ and you are seated with Christ above, not below, and all those that are struggling with you, they are under your footstool. That is only when you can come out victoriously. You see the teaching? Because until you internalize it, you cannot actualize it. So internalizing it simply means that you believe it. If you don't believe that you are victorious, you'll be acting like a victim. Amen? Is somebody here with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, another equation. If you go to Galatians 5:1, he said, it is because of the freedom that Christ has set us free. He said, therefore, we have to stand first. That is to be firm. Amen? So that we will not be entangled with the yoke of bondage. Okay, now look at this scripture. He says, stand firm in the fact that you have been set free. That shows there are some things that want to entangle you that you are not set free. How can you begin to enjoy the freedom? You must internalize what? Your freedom. Knowing fully well that whosoever God has set free is indeed free. Nothing can make me be entangled or yoked for anything anymore. Then that is when you can enjoy the freedom. Until you begin to internalize who you are, what God says about you, where God placed you. Let's say, for example, two people are fighting and you want to join them. God said you are seated above with him. That shows you are not just a lower level person by faith. Do you off your shirt and begin to boss? Why can't you do that? You know that people that sit above, they don't fight like this below. You have to believe it. You have to internalize it. You have to internalize it. Go back to my question now. He said, you plus adequate foundation of your truth is what gives you successful, practical Christian living. So therefore, do not be in a hurry to behave like a Christian. Take your time to believe the truth that was written about you even before you became born again. It is the truth that you believe that results in your behavior. Are you here with me?
Yes.
Listen, look at it this way. I'm taking you home. That's the only point I'm making to them. You are coming and you put on a lab coat. They put stethoscope. They give you a prescription paper. They give you a pen. And at least you can write tramadol. Not that you don't know the spelling of tramadol. Amen? Just write tramadol. And they give you, so write so I can go and get it in the pharmacy. You dress with a lab coat, like a doctor, you put stethoscope, amen. Even you printed business card, doctor, you know, so many fake doctors everywhere now, amen. You put business card, you even your stethoscope is as big as this. You carry grant anatomy and all this physiology is in your car. And then I said, sir, this is the picture. Why can't you just write? So I take it to pharmacy. Because you know inside you, internally, that is not who you are. But somebody that didn't even put on anything at all, amen? And I know that's why he just grabbed the prescription, he just put it there, tramadol, If he would just go there before you get there and call them. Amen? And before you get there, you call already. And you see that giving you. Why? He didn't put on the uniform on the outside. Amen? But he knows who he is in the world. So therefore, what you do when you don't internalize the truth that God has spoken about you, and you are trying to behave it, is that you are trying to put on a uniform, thinking that putting it on the outside will make you become it on the inside. No. Until you become it on the inside, you cannot behave it on the outside. So as from today, begin to believe the truth that God has spoken about your marriage. Begin to believe the truth that God has spoken about your health. Begin to believe the truth that God has spoken about your business. Begin to speak the truth that God has spoken about your ministry. Begin to believe the truth that God has spoken about these children. Amen? So therefore, before I submit to you today, I want you to know who God says you are, and I want you to know what God has said about you even before you became born again. Now begin to believe those truths, because the truth of the matter is, what you believe is what you behave. And I keep telling you, the voice of your mind is louder than the voice of your mouth. And that's why Mark 11:23 says that if you speak in your mouth and you do not doubt in your mind, because it's one thing for you to speak something out, it's another thing for you not to believe it. You cannot generate the creative force of faith that bring it to pass. So what you are speaking out in your mouth must correlate with what you are speaking out in your mind. Then you can generate the force. So people of God, not that you will become children of God. That is who you are now. And if you believe in that, now you begin to purify yourself and begin to behave like one. And you begin to internalize who He says you are. Then before you know it, you begin to act it. If you go to Jeremiah, as I'm running on, Jeremiah 17, if you read verse 7 and 8, he said, blessed is the man that trusted in the Lord and whose hope the Lord is. Verse 8, for he shall be as a tree planted by the waters and that spreadeth out a root by the river. Good. So what is the effect of that? The effect now is that, and shall not see when it come, but our leaf shall be green. Why? Because the root is what? Deep down. Now, this is why Paul oftentimes, why teaching? Go back to my question. Why teaching us? Go to the next one. Paul always want to teach us this way, that our spiritual life, amen, is connected to Christ. Christ is the source of our spiritual life. Amen. So therefore, positionally, He has positioned you in Him. Are you listening to me? He has positioned you in Him. Now, when you remain now in Him, you begin to grow to behave Him. So positioning you is the root. Because He said in John 15 verse 5, He said, you are the branch and the vine, abide in me, so that I can give you the source of life. Amen. The produce of the source is your behavior, which is the fruit. So therefore, Paul always put us positionally in a place with Christ, that we have been justified, that this is who we are. Once we believe that, we begin to internalize it and we begin to do what? To act it. Let's say, for example, you believe that you are a child of God. That's who you are, right? You have internalized that fact, right? And you now choose a best friend, right? Maybe you just met that guy, and all of a sudden he said, let's go out. By the time you went out, the next place you went to is go back. If you have internalized that you are a true child of God, what will you do right there? You get back, right? Because that is not who you are should be what? Should be. If you don't believe that that is who you are, what will be your language? At least people are there. That shows you don't believe that you are a special child of God. You just believe that you are a common world people. That's why people that are there too, they are human beings. Amen. You see what I'm saying now? So people of God, I'm just teaching you here this way, that stand firm in who God has called you to be. Stand firm in who God says you are. And that is the only way you can behave what? Especially. Because it's not a good thing for us to call ourselves Christian and we are behaving like an Eden. And we are behaving like Eden. Let me round up my teaching. God has not promised you land or houses. I am telling you. In John 10, he said, I have come to give you what? So that you may have what?
Abundant.
What he promised is abundant life in his son. Amen. That shows if you have all these possessions and your life is not promising as a child of God, when it comes to kingdom race, that person is still a failure. Stop being deceived. Stop being deceived. People are not teaching practical Christianity. You can buy houses, you can buy cars, you can buy Mercedes, you can buy Jeep, you can have many houses. If your lifestyle is not in conformity with the life of God, that person is still a what? A failure. Because the most important thing is what? Is the life that I promise you, not the land. The land in the Old Testament is just a pointer of the life in the New Testament. So therefore I come to submit to your understanding today. You have to internalize who God says you are. Because to live in the reality of your new creation, you must have a good perception of yourself. You must see yourself from the perspective at which God sees what? You. And may God help us in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
As I'm rounding up this morning, if you see yourself as a failure, that's what we have. Bible says a good man, out of the good of his heart, bring forth that which is good. And an evil man, out of the evil of his heart, bring forth that which is evil. For out of the abundance of the what? Heart, the mouth speaketh. So begin to internalize who you are. Devil is only making us a victim whenever we have a distorted view of who God is and a distorted view of who we are. Listen very carefully. My daughter here, she's positionally related to me and to the family of Aina the day her mother gave birth to her. Either in America, she can call herself an American citizen. I was going, it's a lie. She is Aina family. And you listen to me? Born in a village or Ekiti. Amen? But the truth of the matter now is this. She's positionally related to me. Right? Let her go to anywhere in this world. Even let her change her head, let her change her look. As long as she cannot change her cells and her blood, she remains my daughter. Now, we are going somewhere. But if she lives in disobedience, not trusting me, I cannot have harmony with her. Though she's related to me, but she's not in harmony with me. What will be the consequence? The consequence will be, number one, everything I'm supposed to be giving her to be enjoyed, she'll be losing it. You are positionally related to God through Jesus Christ. You are sons of God. But devil is giving you a distorted view about who you are and who God is, so that we will not live in harmony with God, so all the benefit of who we are will be eluding us. Amen? Amen. You are not a common person. Either you are the manager in your place of work, or you are a simple attendant there. The truth of the matter is you are a sojourner on this earth. What God called you to do is to be his representative here. If they should call you to be a representative of mayor of Orange, or mayor of Newark, or mayor, everybody in your village will see the letter. You put it on your status that I'm representing, even if it's just 1 week. And God is now saying that I am not here on earth, you represent me here. That is who you are not less than that. Amen. And you are still doing as if you are not favored by God. I'm telling you, you are more than what you think you are. On a praise Sunday like this, even if you came to church with your old rugged car, even with your foot-legged car, But the truth of the matter is that there is a mansion that belongs to you. The truth of the matter is you are sitting above, not in White House, in something that is above the White House. Amen. Because the color of the building doesn't make the building a white place. Amen. It can be white on the outside and be dark on the inside. Amen. But you are sitting above in heavenly realm with Christ Jesus. He said you are the champion. He said you are the salt of the world. You are the city center of the economy. He said you are the light of this world. He said you are a royal priesthood. He said you are my son, my ambassador, my representative. I am still saying, but I don't have Africa. He said you are a citizen of heaven. Even though I don't have a green card, I have a citizen. I have a certificate of heavenly citizenship. People of God, that is who you are. Believe it internally. You will see you will behave it. Do you know the reason why I know that I can never be poor? If I get a poverty island, man, look at me. I keep saying it because I never internalize it. Even when I don't have $1 in my account, I never internalize it that I'm poor. Amen. Because God said He has blessed me with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places. And I internalize it. Even if I don't have physical dollar, I still remain the blessed of God by the riches of His blessing. And I know my God will supply all according to His riches. Oh my God, let your high of understanding be open now. In the name of Jesus, rise up on your feet this afternoon. Let us go home with that. Run with it this week that you are a special person. So begin to internalize where God has positioned you and begin to behave like one. Begin to behave like one. Listen, oh my God, many of us, when we are doing something, look at it this way. And you say, we are doing a party, we are round up this way. And they brought him as the chairman. So Eda sit down here. So all of us, that's the chairman of the day. Okay, you know what will happen? People will begin to, okay, you want drinks? Even they have not served you, they begin to serve and put everything there. Why do you think they are doing that? They know Bemu is coming, right? That is, we draw big money. Amen? Okay, now, that is what I'm going on with. Go home with that. Let's say they brought him here. Come. And I said, I don't want to sit. Because he knows that he doesn't have big money they are expecting. Amen? Amen? Sit here, sir. He doesn't sit. Sit, sir. He doesn't sit. And when he sit down, when they are bringing it, he ran down here. How will he enjoy the benefit of everything they are bringing here? They don't know his purse, right? You make me as the chairman. I internalize this as the chairman. And I sit down in the chairman's seat. Then, it's not a robbery if I begin to enjoy this benefit. Are you here with me? Are you here with me? So that is what I want you to begin to enjoy. Go home, go to your place of work this week. Internalize who God says you are. And begin to believe it. And you will see you begin to live it. I never thought of being broke. Amen. At times I don't have money. But I can never lose sleep. It's when I'm broke that we eat the best food. If I have it in the kitchen. I internalize me being rich in Christ Jesus. Go home with this understanding. Fulfill destiny. Grow in it. God said you are the begin to turn into prayer. Anything that will make me see myself wrongly, come against it in the name of Jesus. It doesn't matter what somebody is saying about you. Believe what God has written about you. What somebody is trying to write has no sense. Make it no sense. And don't give sense to it by internalizing wrongly. Internalize what God has written about you. He said you are the son. He said you are a royal priesthood. He said you are a light. He said you are the city on high, not below. Turn into prayer and let your light shine. Thank you, Heavenly Father. In Jesus' mighty name, we are praying. In the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, the sweet fellowship of the Holy Spirit, be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Surely, goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life. We shall dwell in the house of the Lord